Hello and welcome back to my channel, Drama Recap here on YouTube, and I hope you are having a good day, because today's video is going to be discussing some serious topics, something that I was not sure if I wanted to discuss or not, just because of my kind of lack of solid, good information about the topic, but I think it is important to talk about. Now, when this video is going up, it is going to be a Friday. I am recording this on a Sunday, so it's almost a week before the video goes up, and I'm debating on whether I've, even want to go that far in advance between a video being created and actually being uploaded and watched on YouTube, but right now is kind of the best time I have to film, and I definitely want to talk about this topic, and so I don't want to put it off any longer of actually filming, so here we go. Today we are talking about the Deaf Noodles Papa Gut drama, which I hesitate to even call it drama because it's like going beyond that at a certain point, and I think we are at a point where it is beyond drama. Deaf Noodles and Papa Gut are two content creators here on YouTube. I followed Deaf Noodles on Twitter. Well, as of this current moment, I still follow him. I definitely plan on unfollowing at this point. So go ahead and check my Twitter right now, and you will not see me following Deaf Noodles. BCW Twitter link always down below if you want to give me a follow. I followed him in probably 2020, I guess. He always would tweet. He'd kind of be one of the first people to get to really like serious topics or breaking news that is concerned with the drama over the internet and YouTube dramas. So he was a good person to be following because it could keep you up to date. But people called him out a lot for kind of misquoting information or just sending out flat out wrong or incorrect information. He definitely is not, outside of the realm of controversy or doesn't know what it's like to be called out. He has a long-standing feud with Keemstar, and that is important because him and Keemstar would go back and forth on YouTube, on Twitter a lot, and Keemstar basically made a series of tweets in the style of Deaf Noodles tweets where he basically insinuated that Deaf Noodles was a P word. I'll put it on the screen. If I ever say P word, this is the word I'm referring to in the rest of this video. So Keemstar did that, and obviously Deaf Noodles did not appreciate that, as someone who is not that probably does not want to be called. It's a very serious thing. It's something that will ruin someone's life if it is found out to be a false accusation, a false claim, and Keemstar obviously had no evidence for this, but his tweet was clearly in kind of a mocking style. However, do not get that twisted that I am on Keemstar's side or defending Keemstar, because I disagree with pretty much every single thing that man does in his daily life. Just want to make sure that that is clear off the bat. So moving on from that tweet, Deaf Noodles is now suing Keemstar in court for defamation, which people are kind of finding very funny because Deaf Noodles' nickname on Twitter and YouTube in some spaces is Defamation Noodles because of how much wrong information he puts onto the internet. This ongoing situation, Deaf Noodles and Papa Gut, I believe is this man's name, got into a debate, I want to say. This was a couple months ago. They had some sort of debate. If you're not familiar with him, he probably, Papa Gut being him in this situation, he got into some trouble back in, I think it was 2021, it might have been 2020. Basically, he had his TikTok either suspended or completely banned because he made a TikTok where he was talking about the Lopez brothers, who were a content creator on YouTube and TikTok, and they had allegations about underage girls and having, relations and non-consensual acts with those particular girls. And so Papa Gut was reporting on this, and he, in the video, said the line, if they are old enough to bleed, they are old enough to breed. Now, that line is obviously a lot. It's really gross. He was not necessarily saying that in defense of the Lopez brothers. He was saying that as far as this is their mindset that they were thinking. However, it was not you shouldn't have just said that sentence. Like, regardless if you're trying to get into the mind of someone, like, that is a pretty messed up thing to say. It's not okay to say, so you probably shouldn't say it. But he did have a lot of actions, a lot of repercussions or consequences, I guess is the word I'm thinking of, that he had to face with his TikTok being taken away from him. He's now since walked back that statement and is like, I don't stand for that. It's taken out of context a lot of time. That's not me. And Papa Gut's content is focused around SA survivors and people sharing stories and catching anyone who might be like a predator or P-word. So he definitely is trying to repent for his sins in a way, if you will. Now this is fully me jumping into the situation. I had no idea who Papa Gut was. I had no idea about that Lopez TikTok situation. I might have heard about it when it happened, but it definitely is not something that was in my mind and that had stuck with me. So I'm just casually scrolling through Twitter one day and I see all of these kind of quote tweets from Deaf Noodles kind of arguing with this man. And to be honest, I did not stop and read any of the tweets. I was like, yeah, whatever, Deaf Noodles getting in an argument with someone, which is not uncommon. You know, people, as we've discussed, have called him out before as a lazy content creator and a lazy source finder. And so I was just like, okay, whatever, another drama. I'm not really that interested in it. I don't really want to make a video about it, so I'm just not going to engage with it. But then I started seeing other little videos pop up and other people tweeting about it that was popping up on my Twitter. Sorry, my fiance called me and then my computer or my camera battery died. So anyway, jumping in, yeah, I was following this along on Twitter, started seeing some more about it, and basically what ended up happening, kind of the big whole punchline of this drama, was that Deaf Noodles has now called and insinuated that Papa Gut is a P-word, as we discussed before, what that means. He tweeted this and then tagged the FBI in this tweet. For someone who is in a current defamation lawsuit for someone calling them a P-word unfoundedly, for you to then say that to someone else, you just lost your lawsuit. You lost all credibility. You lost probably half of your following with people who are like, how could I support someone who is doing this type of thing? Like, do you realize like what you did with this? Like, that is a huge mess up. I think one of the worst things I also saw, I'm going to try to screenshot it and hopefully I can see it before and if it gets deleted. At this point, I don't think Deaf Noodles, or Dennis, I haven't said his name, his real name is Dennis. I don't think he would delete this, but he basically tweeted a picture of a van that said free candy. It had free candy painted on the side of it and said like Papa Gut spotted, something along that nature, which I think is just wholly doubling down and not a good. I don't know where Deaf Noodles goes from here. I mean, he totally has just, I don't think he can come back from this at all as far as a reliable source of information on YouTube. It's hard to come back from blatantly lying about someone with like no actual evidence when you've been in a feud, in a war already, and so people kind of already set to this tone of like these two people don't like each other, they don't get along. Also, not to mention that this will definitely be hurting Papa Gut for sure. Can I just say though that I wish you picked a better username? Like, I'm sorry, I just don't like that username, but it is really affecting him. It has affected him. I think that Deaf Noodles should have thought and been more of a kind person. He is the type of person, when he doesn't like you or he goes after you relentlessly. And he gives off very much a vibe of like kind of spoiled kid, like spoiled only child syndrome. I don't know if he's an only child. I know that his dad was pretty job at a movie studio. I think it was Warner Brothers that he worked at. So definitely, I'm sure they had a comfortable life. I think he grew up in New York, which is not a cheap city to live in. Of course, normal people make it in New York all the time, like normal middle class people. But yeah, I just think that this is going to lead to some bad times for him. I think he's already lost his Twitter once. I wouldn't be shocked if people mass report him and he loses it again. I just see no world where he comes back from this and people forgive him, unless he like absolutely really apologizes it and means it super wholeheartedly. But clearly, based on his tweets, he's not. He is fully not seeing what's going on here or seeing what people's issues with him is. So that's on him. That's going to be his problem. Can we do anything as far as normal people? I mean, just like no longer engage with this man because he clearly does not deserve this platform. It's not sad, but it's just disappointing to see someone who a lot of people viewed as a strong voice in the community to just completely throw it away and not care, and kind of when someone shows you who they are, then you should believe them. You know, that's kind of a saying. I think I messed it up a bit, but that's definitely a saying. Overall, I just hope that these people that they trivialize, that have gone through very horrific instances of abuse and assault, learn people like it. People's lives are not to be played around with and thrown around as an accusation to get someone taken off Twitter. And that's where I'm going to leave it with this video. I don't think anything else needs to be said. So thanks for watching, and until we have another drama, hopefully one that is less serious to go over, then I will be back again. So thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.